Hey folks, a lot of you guys asked me what hardware do I need, what hardware is compatible with ePRO, and a lot of questions like that. So we'll go over that real quick. You don't really need anything to run ePRO other than a decent computer with good internet access. ePRO is web-based; it's not software-based or stationary-based in the sense that it needs to be on a specific computer. You're only limited to certain computers or computer types. You can access it from any device that can access the internet. So that includes desktop computers, laptops, iPads, tablets, cell phones, whether it's uh, Droid, Apple, Android, Samsung, whether it's Mac, Windows, or Linux, doesn't matter. As long as you have a decent internet connection, you can access ePRO and everything will upload and download just fine. Some recommendations. Uh, have a good desktop computer. It doesn't have to be super expensive or super fancy. Lenovo, HP, all-in-ones work great. They'll last a long time and they'll do everything you need to do just fine. And they're fairly inexpensive. So those ones do great. Usually having one computer that you dedicate as your ePRO register is the best bet. That way you always have one computer you can go back to and run everything off of, so that you don't have to worry about issues or crashing or the computer getting slow. And then based off the size of your shop, based on how many employees you have, based on how busy you are, you might add other devices to your shop in order to use it more efficiently, more effectively. You know, whether you add laptops or more computers or iPads, so on and so forth. Some of my shops will have, for example, a register, maybe two registers. So they have the computer with their cash drawer, their thermal receipt printer, and their credit card terminal at one spot, and that's where they bring everyone out. And then they might have two or three iPads or laptops at their bow desk or service desk where they check in bows, do work orders, service equipment. They might have another computer in the office for whoever is in charge of doing the purchase orders and invoicing there. And then they might have a kiosk for checking in and out of the range, and so on and so forth. So as many as 8 to 10 devices uh, at one time. No big deal. So you can use whatever you want. As far as other things go from that, printers, those are nice to have for receipts and work orders. Any office printer will work if you want to print out the big office, 8.5 by 11 type paper for receipts. Most of our receipts in ePRO are formatted for thermal printers, so like your Star, your Epson, and LG receipt printers, the 72 millimeter paper, uh, and those ones like that. And then the work orders and the reports are going to be formatted for a desktop printer, so like your Brother, your HP, so on and so forth. So any office printer will work, whatever's cheap, whatever works for you guys, whatever you need to print out those things, plus other things you may or may not need to print in your shop. I would recommend, it's not necessary, but I would recommend getting a printer, like a TSP thermal printer. They are a little bit more expensive initial cost than an office printer, but being that they're thermal, there's no ink cartridges or toner, so you don't have to be constantly buying those every year, depending on how much you use your printer. And thermal receipt paper is very, very inexpensive. I'm just pulling it up on here on Amazon. I'm not condoning Amazon by any means. Just pull it up so you guys get a good idea of what it is and roughly idea of pricing. So TSP 100, it's also called the 143, is going to be the most popular one for our shops. They make it USB compatible. They make a Ethernet version, and they also make a web print version. The web print version is more expensive, but it does allow the printer to have its own IP address, so you can access it from any device on the network. So you can print receipts to the thermal printer from any computer, laptop, iPad, or cell phone that's connected to the network. So that's a pretty cool feature. If you don't care about that or you just want to save some money, the regular TSP 100/143 Echo is a great way to go. It's USB compatible, so it'll only print to the via USB to the device it's connected to. So usually your register printer. Um, this is about average cost, and then this is just an idea of cost for how much paper would cost you. So very, very inexpensive compared to office paper and toner for your brother printers or your HP printers. Other printers will work. If you have a specific printer in mind and you want to call us and ask us if it'll work, go ahead and do that. We'll let you know if we have any experience with that type of printer or if it'll work. Most of our experience is going to be with the Star printers, LG printers, and Epson printers. For scanners, barcode scanners is another one that's not necessary, but it is nice to have. We do have the product search in ePRO, so you can search everything via part numbers, SKU numbers, and product description. But scanning the barcode is very quick, efficient, and easy. So when it comes to that, this Motorola now Zebra printer, the symbol is the one we recommend. It works really well. It's USB compatible, so you can plug it into any device that takes a USB, so computer, laptop, or even some of your Samsung tablets, and it works great. You can buy it with a protection plan if you want. I think it has up to a 4 or 5 year warranty. There are other barcode scanners out there. If you want the wireless ones, these ones work really well. Odessa is another good brand. Keep in mind there are benefits and downsides to the wireless versions. The benefit obviously being you can take it anywhere in your shop. It's very efficient when you're doing inventory counts, and you don't have to have it plugged in. And on some of the more expensive wireless scanners, you can have them connected to multiple devices at once via Bluetooth. The downside is they are rechargeable batteries. So if you leave it out by accident or leave it somewhere and you come back to it next day, now you've got a scanner that's just a paperweight till you plug it in and it gets a full charge. That's the advantage on the plug and play is, if it's unplugged, it doesn't work. If it's plugged in, it works. So you don't have to worry about that charge time or leaving it out. So those are some pluses and minuses to both. Um, Other hardware that's optional that you can get would be like a label printer if you want to print labels. Zebra is going to be the more common one that we use. Brother is also a common label printer. See if I can get you guys some examples here. I wouldn't recommend the Dynamo. We've had some issues with those. And they're not pulling up. So call us about that one. Like I said, the Zebra LP series, such as the LP 2824, is the one we designed the label program off of for ePRO. So that's going to be the most common and most effective. Brother does make a more inexpensive one that you can get fairly inexpensive, and the labels are fairly inexpensive. And I've also had that one work as well. But definitely call us on that one for label printers. Other than that, there's really not much. Cash drawers are nice to have. They're easy. They just plug into the back of your receipt printer or straight to your computer, depending on which cable you get. Most of them are designed to work in conjunction with the cash drawer, or excuse me, the receipt printer. So what'll happen is when you print the receipt, the first message goes from your computer to the receipt printer to tell it to print, and then the receipt printer tells the cash drawer to open, and then it'll pop open that cash drawer. So those are kind of nice to have, but again, not a necessity. If you guys have any other questions on types of hardware or things you may or may not want to use to make you or your shop more efficient or your employees more efficient, give us a call, 480-664-2096, or email Dan at orgmyrange or Cassie at orgmyrange.com, and let us know. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.